Namo tassa bhagavatu arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namaste. Well, last time we came to a great culmination of the identity of the Vedic tradition with the Buddha's teaching. Actually, Brahman and Nibbāna are the same. Or let's put it this way, they are both different attempts to explain and present the ultimate, the absolute, in different languages and different philosophical systems. So in other words, they're both different attempts at the same thing. As it just happens, the Buddha's teaching fits very nicely in the system of the 4 levels of consciousness. And also the Paticca-samuppada correlates very nicely with the 5 bodies concept. So we went over that last time. But this time I want to pick up on a quote that we made earlier but didn't really expand upon. That is, when the Brahmin boy Kappa came to the Buddha and he asked him a question. He asked him to proclaim an island in the midst of the stream. When the people standing there were assaulted by the tsunami, the tremendous flow of sense impressions. And so the Buddha replied very beautifully. Unto them that stand midstream, when the frightful floods flow forth, to them in decay and death forlorn, an island, Kappa, I shall proclaim. Owning naught, grasping naught, the isle is this, none else besides. Nibbāna, that is how I call that isle, where decay is decayed and death is dead. So Nibbāna means the decay of decay, the death of death. If one attains Nibbāna, then these things have no hold over him. The flow of time, karma, cause and effect, all this becomes naught. And why is that? Because those who attain Nibbāna have broken the chain of causation, the chain of Paticca-samuppada, the chain of cause and effect, of karma. How is that possible? Well, let's take a look. You remember this diagram. Let's trace suffering back through the chain of causation. Suffering and rebirth depend on aging and death. Aging and death depend on birth. Birth depends on becoming. Becoming depends on clinging. Clinging depends on craving. Craving depends on feelings. Feelings depend on contact. Contact depends on the 6 senses. The 6 senses depend on name and form. Name and form depends on conditioned consciousness. Consciousness depends on sankhara, fabrications. Fabrications depend on ignorance. So ignorance is the primal cause of existing in the material world. Ignorance is primordial, causeless, and inexplicable. It's just the play of Maya. And so it creates the whole chain of becoming of Paticca-samuppada. But when ignorance ceases and fades away by hearing from an enlightened one, conviction and confidence in the teaching arises. With the cessation of ignorance, cessation of fabrications. With the fading away of fabrications, contentment arises. With the cessation of fabrications, cessation of conditioned consciousness. With the fading away of conditioned consciousness, rapture arises. With the cessation of consciousness, cessation of name and form. With the fading away of name and form, serenity arises. With the cessation of name and form, cessation of 6 sense bases. With the fading away of the 6 sense bases, bliss arises. With the cessation of the 6 sense bases, cessation of contact. With the fading away of contact, samadhi arises. With the cessation of contact, cessation of feelings. With the fading away of feelings, the Dhamma I arises, and this is first path realization. With the cessation of feelings, cessation of craving. With the fading away of craving, disenchantment arises. With the cessation of craving, cessation of clinging. With the fading away of clinging, dispassion arises, and this is second path realization. With the cessation of clinging, cessation of becoming. With the fading away of becoming, release arises, and this is third path realization. With the cessation of becoming, cessation of rebirth. With the fading away of birth, cessation of rebirth arises. With the cessation of rebirth, cessation of aging and death. With the fading away of aging and death, Nibbāna arises, fourth path realization. Thus is the cessation of this entire mass of suffering. Now, the key thing I want you to notice here is that as soon as the prime cause of ignorance is removed, then the next stages cease automatically. See, like a row of dominoes, huh? You've hit the first one, and the whole row goes down, blah, 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 blah. So in this way, simply by removing ignorance, the whole cessation of becoming happens. It doesn't happen immediately, but it happens very quickly, within a few lifetimes. So this is the power of knowledge. This is the power of hearing from an enlightened one, a Buddha, an Arhat. This is the power of education in the Dharma. That's why we call our effort to educate people in spiritual life Dharma Sara, the essence of Dharma. Because once you understand Dharma properly, you have right view, and right view is the first step of the Eightfold Path. Once you have right view, the other stages happen automatically, leading to Nibbāna at last. And that is the end of suffering. Yes, there might be a little residue of suffering due to the existence of this body and its prarabdha karma, the karma that is due to ripen in this life. But with the fading away, with the passing away, or the cessation of this body, then all suffering is finished. Because the sanchari karma, the karma that is saved up from previous lives, and the karma that was generated in this life are both destroyed. How are they destroyed? Because simply by going on this path of self-realization, there is so much positivity for the whole world. Once Ramana Maharshi was asked, well, why don't we take part in welfare activities such as feeding people and mass education and all other welfare activities? And Ramana said, the highest welfare activity for the whole humanity at large is cultivation of self-realization. And that is because the vibrations of advanced consciousness radiate out from the sadhaka, and they in fact benefit the whole universe. So in other words, why we should waste time trying to do a lot of material welfare work when the ultimate welfare work is already there as soon as we educate ourselves on the nature of enlightenment, the nature of consciousness, the spiritual path, meditation, and so on. And everyone already has all the resources, all the facilities to do this. The scriptures of the whole world, of the Vedas, of the Buddhas, of so many self-realized people are freely available on the internet. Anyone can download and read them. Anyone can watch so many videos. And although there are a lot of phony videos out there, there are some good ones too. And you can use what you learn here to find the ones that appeal to your taste, to your level of advancement, and follow them. Get the benefit. And try to pass that benefit on to others as far as possible. Now, I'm very fortunate. I have the facilities, the skills, and the financial position and so on to be able to sit here very comfortably in my house in India and speak to the whole world. So this is very fortunate because it means I get a lot of good karma. I get a lot of good energy in return. And even those who are against me and who criticize me simply get to take my bad karma. So I'm receiving good karma from those who understand, and I'm losing my bad karma to those who are against. This is a great job, you know. It's highly recommended. And anyone can do it. That's the thing. Even if you can't make videos or write books, you could share these videos on your social media accounts. And then that way it will spread, the knowledge will spread and reach people, and they'll be able to extricate themselves from the trap of material existence. So this is my request to you, that you don't remain idle and don't be satisfied with only benefiting yourself, although that's important. The ultimate thing is to spread this knowledge as far as possible for the welfare of the whole humanity. Aum Tat Sat. Aum Shakti. Aum.